if you're a successful person, you need to understand that there are some people and situations that you are too good to be associated with. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. I'm a licensed therapist, and I've worked with people who are victims of abuse as well as perpetrators of abuse, and I've done so for many years. And this isn't a post about putting people down or trying to say people are here and here, but what I am trying to say is that what I've noticed and what I've worked with in the years over my practice are especially Black and brown women who have worked very hard to achieve success, but they are surrounded by people, one, that are very envious or do not respect their success, or two, people who have very questionable character and morals. And a lot of times, those people with questionable character and morals are people who are very abusive or who are parasitic and are latched on to that person for their success and for all of the benefits that they can benefit off of. So they're with you because they can benefit off of you, essentially, is what I'm trying to say. And so I think, I'll give an example. I won't mention any names, but right now I feel like we're watching this play out on national news with a woman who is with a man that's got some very serious criminal charges. And one of the things that I want to point out is, first of all, these charges are serious. They, in my opinion, are a form of violence. But this is also the second thing I'll point out is this isn't the first time that this woman has been with a man that's been very questionable in his character. And so for me, I feel like when you get to a certain age, when you achieve a certain status, you should be surrounded by a good team and a good community. That's part of how you continue to elevate, is by making sure that the people around you are good people. But if you're constantly in a mode where you're trying to help someone who's gotten themselves caught up in some serious situation, I don't care what you guys have. I don't care if you're married. I don't care if you have kids. I don't care if what it is, but if they're in some serious trouble and they live a certain lifestyle, and not only that, but you also have to look, especially if you're a woman with a man who is substantially less successful than you. You have to look at that, because that person can be very self-destructive, can be very immature, but also just caught up in some things that's ultimately going to bring some negative attention onto you if you're not careful. So the very thing that you worked many years for, and literally got yourself out of the mud, somebody can just make a reckless decision, and all it takes is a few seconds to take everything that you've worked so hard for. So you also, when you are a person that is successful, diligent, and hardworking, you need to surround yourself with people who have those very same values, morals, and ethics. Otherwise, it's just not going to work. You're going to constantly be in a position of frustration, trying to help, or even worse, being embarrassed. And maybe even having your character in questions, and ultimately may lose the things that you work very hard for. Another example would be I've worked with athletes before, so professional football players or whatever, people that came from poverty. A lot of times when they achieve money and means and things like that, they want to very much pull their community, the people, their family, and other people that were struggling in that same community with them. And they often drain their finances, trying to support everybody and trying to give them cars and nice places to live and things like that. And before you know it, their money is spent. Those contracts are no longer coming in, and they're in some serious debt, and nobody cares. Because once you're not able to give anymore to a taker, they're on to the next. You are of no significant importance and relevance to them. But circling back to women, especially, and especially black and brown women, because propensity of violence and things being taken from you, I think is significantly higher for those of us that are in my community, especially, is that pay attention to, especially your romantic partner, or just even people that you surround yourself with. If you guys are misaligned, or if they're bringing negative attention to you, or if they are threatened by your success, or if they're just getting themselves caught up in stuff that just, first of all, if you're not in that lifestyle, you find yourself even feeling like you have to be sympathetic towards a man because he's troubled. Move around and move away as fast as you can. I cannot stress this enough, because ultimately the things that you sympathize with, the things that you ignore or that you give grace to, it will be your downfall. I promise you, every single time.